Good morning. I'm going to start out with a couple of announcements. I don't think there's a couple. I think there's just really one. Okay, you guys got my remind yesterday about homework. You're going to see in your week at a glance and also on your assignments after this week, there won't be any homework listed. This week, you're going to see homework is under daily assignments. So doesn't really mean anything for you except that there's not going to be that third column. You're still going to get those assignments. They're just going to be added to another assignment. So what's going to happen is your grading rubric's going to be daily assignment 30%, labs 30%, and then your quizzes and exams are 40%. So we've cut down to just 3 categories now for our grading rubric. This week, when you see the homework assignment listed under daily assignments, just go with it, because I had so many students already doing homework assignments that there wasn't time for me to go in and adjust that. And I didn't find out about the adjustment until yesterday. So like I said, this week is going to look a little different in your daily assignments because it's going to say day 1 of 20 homework. And it's also going to have a different little line that says day 1 of 20 daily assignment. So do y'all understand that? That makes sense to you? Yeah, I figured y'all would be okay with it. I've already corrected next week's because I'm a week ahead girl. That's why sometimes when you ask me something, I don't even know what chapter we're in because I'm already in another one. But anyway, so hopefully that you guys will understand that this week you still need to do your homework assignments and it's listed under daily assignment. But as of next week, there will no longer be something labeled homework. Okay, understand? All right, so have you guys been reading in radiology a little bit? How do we like it? Miss Elise is going, I don't like it. Radiology isn't my favorite, but it's still great. I mean, it's an experience. Radiology is an experience because it's so many different parts of radiology. You can find it in almost every field, right? Talking about ultrasounds with pregnancy, x-rays when you break something. It's a huge field, right? It really is. So there is a big need for radiology coding, and so we have to know how to do it. Not be an expert in it, know how to do it. I do have just a few things I want to point out about radiology with you guys, and then we're going to get into coding. Okay, this is what I need to know. Who has manuals? Tangela, I know you don't have yours yet. I know that they're coming. Kenyana, do you have your manuals?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I'm not at the school. As y'all can see, I'm home. This is my little home area. We shut the school down this week because there's so many COVID cases, which doesn't affect us any, except that I'm here at home with a different background than I would be at school. So I will, when I get back on Monday, if you don't get them this week, kind of let me know. When did you start, Kenyana? Where's my grade book at? Y'all see, oh, here it is. I'm not as organized at home as I am at school because I have a certain spot for everything.
I started on day 35 of 40.
Okay, yeah, so it's going to be just a little bit longer for you. All righty, so let's get right into our little slideshow. No funny videos today, ladies. I know you're so disappointed. I'm sorry. Well, you guys, I have tried to start putting little inspirational quotes in when we have time together. And these are the 2 that I found that just really, really spoke to me. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. And I'm just going to bring up when we're talking and when we're coding together and you give me a code and I say, are you sure? Because I want you to be confident in your answers. And something, I turned 50 recently. Something that I realized, and I don't want to take for everybody to take 50 years to learn this the way I have, is confidence is not something anybody else can give you. Confidence is something that has to come from within. So if you're waiting for someone to build you up, yeah, that happens. I can encourage you and build you up, but how long does that last? It's a temporary buildup, right? That confidence has to come from within. And something that if you're not very confident, I want you to do a little bit of soul searching and find that confidence, because guys, when we're dealing with these doctors in these medical facilities, they're going to be looking for that confidence. They want you to be confident in how you speak, how you carry yourself, and in what you're doing, okay? Now, is there a learning curve? Absolutely, there's a learning curve. Don't think that you're going to go in there like muscle man and, hey, I know every. No, that's not what I mean. But I mean being able, there's a difference in being confident and being cocky, right? I tell my kids that all the time. You don't sound confident, you sound cocky, right? So there's that balance. And be stronger than your strongest excuse. I know I'm coming back to talk to you about that one. What I want to say is we all have things happen in life, don't we? We all get to a spot where we don't feel good. We all get to a spot where our kids don't feel good, or they're driving us crazy, or we got to work and our boss is on our guys, I get it. I do. When I tell you, I know how it feels to be in a situation where you have to work and you have to do school. Before I started the daytime position, for those of you who don't know, I worked a coding job from 7:30 in the morning until 4:30 in the afternoon. I worked a night job from 5 o'clock in the afternoon till 10 o'clock at night, and I had 5 children. It's tough, but I'm going to tell you something. This field changed my life. The schooling I did to be able to get into this field, it changed my life. So there's a difference, and there's a reason why I didn't get this done, but here's what I'm going to do to make sure I get it done today. Okay? So we can't let our excuses hold us back. We all have them. And I'm not going to say the crude comment, because everybody knows, everybody's mama has said, excuses are like everything, are like fingers. We all have them, right? So don't let, good morning, Melissa. Don't let excuses hold you back from your goals. All right, so now we're going to get into the, not the preaching, but the teaching. How about that? So we're moving into radiology, chapter 24. I just want to point out, do y'all see the break here? That's a X-ray of a
the boxes
broken.
are in the way.
Huh?
Our face is in the way. I can't see it.
Oh, my face, and I can't see my face. I'm sorry. Let me see if I can see where I'm at. Hang on. Let me see if this will give me an option to fix that. Come on. How about that? That work?
No, it's okay.
Sorry, Melissa. I moved you on.
There's a box over there now, but it's just blank. But our faces are still on the right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I tried to move you. Okay. So radiology is the branch of medicine that uses radiant energy to diagnose and treat patients. Specialists in radiology are called radiologists, and they are doctors of medicine. They're specialists. Okay, so in radiology, one of the things that's very important to know is the planes of the body. And planes of the body is simply terminology that refers to the planes of the body, and it's often used in the radiology section. So you guys actually have an exercise to learn a little bit more about the planes of the body. And next we're going to talk about, oh goodness, I have to move myself out of the way. Modifiers. Okay, who remembers what a modifier is? Kelly, what's a modifier?
Add-on code for further description of a service.
Right, it's an add-on, either a letter, number combination, 2 numbers, or it can be 2 letters. You add this onto a CPT code to give the third-party payer more description, or if they need more information about that CPT code. So the modifier 26, and for those of you who don't know, you can find modifiers on the very front cover. Well, you have your front cover of your CPT. If you open your CPT, they're on the back of the front cover. And there's a whole list of those. But the two modifiers that go with radiology are going to be 26, which means professional component. And what does that actually mean? It's the physician's portion of the service. And this can be supervision of a technician, interpretation of results, including a written report. So how many times do you go to, like I had my mammogram, let me just use that on Monday. So they did the service there. They're going to send my results to my doctor, right? Who actually reads the results?
The radiologist.
Well, a radiologist does, but when they send the mammogram to my doctor, she's going to interpret that report. So that word interpretation there, she's interpreting the report. Oh, and actually she's having a mammogram actually on our little picture here. The professional component describes the service of the physician, including supervision of taking of the X-ray film and interpretation of the X-ray films with the report. Modifier 26, if only the professional component is being coded. Now I'm going to show you some examples.
So the technical component, that's when you send it off, and that code for the radiologist when they're doing the service, is that what you use it for?
Yes.
Okay.
But I also use them for, just a second, guys, hang on a minute. Stop that. I'm sorry, I'm at home and my cat's scratching the carpet. Sorry about that, guys. So let's look at some examples. Chest X-ray, professional component. So a supervision and final report. The chest X-ray would be 71048 with the 26 modifier. So the technical component is a TC, and that's for the technician, supplies, and equipment. Did I skip our TC? No. Sorry, guys, hang on, I'm going the wrong way. Yes, okay, I did skip our TC, I'm sorry. Technical component is TC, and technical component is exactly what it sounds like. It's the technical part of the radiologic procedure we're doing. The technical component describes the service of the technologist and the use of the equipment, film, or other supplies. So if you were, when you go to the hospital, when I had my mammogram and they did my mammogram, and the what do they call them? The X-ray technician did my mammogram. She's only doing the technical part, right? I'm only using her equipment and I'm only using the technician. The doctor is not actually there. Make sense? A little bit. These are a little bit difficult to understand, but as you start reading or we start doing the coding, you're going to understand those a little bit more, okay? I did give y'all the examples. Okay, so now we're going to get right into our coding and question portion of our lecture here. My first question says the modifier reported when a physician component is reported separately is what? So we're talking about the physician component.
B.
B, it's the 26 modifier. And then the next one says, what modifier would you use for the technical component?
C.
I'm sorry, can somebody?
C.
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 Technical component stands for TC. It's one of those modifiers that sounds exactly like it should be. TC, technical component. 26 is the physician component or the professional component. All right, so let's code. Y'all don't make me say this word.
Oh, come on, try.
Echoencephalography.
There you go.
Echoencephalography. Whoop. So
Good
real
job.
time with image documentation, including A mode encephalography as a secondary component. Lots of words, right? But what did we actually do? This big old long word right here, correct?
Yep.
So in our index, what do you think we're going to look up? That monumental word right there. So let's go to our index in the E's. Make sure that your spelling is correct. And it's only going to give you one code.
Question. So
Yes.
if it only gives you one code, you don't have to go look it up in the other book, right? In the other part of the book?
No, you always code two ways.
Two-way, okay.
Always code two ways. That means we go to the index and then we double check in our tabular. Okay, we were very lucky in this particular scenario. First of all, if you had a medical record, you're going to have a lot more information than this, right?
Right.
This is just a little scenario to help you get to know the codes. So Melanie, in a celebration for you have in your manual, let us know when you have an answer.
Well, I found it in the index, but I'm trying to double check it. And I lost my place. All right, right here. Okay. So it would be 76506.
What do we think, coders? 76506?
Yes.
I agree too. Great job, Melanie. Okay, so our next one is an ultrasound, bone density measurement and interpretation, peripheral sites, any method. So what do you think we would look up in the index?
Ultrasound.
Ultrasound, that's what we did, right? Okay, can you guys mute me, please? Because I'm getting a lot of feedback. So we're going to go to ultrasound in our index. And then we did a bone density study. That's what it says in the index. And it gives us two codes. It gives us 0508T. We're not using that one. That's not something, we don't generally use anything with a letter in it for a CPT code. And we have 76977. So when we go check, double check that 76977, let's see if we agree.
I agree.
Okay. We're going to wait for everybody. So everybody likes 76977?
Yes, I do.
And it says interpretation, right?
Yeah, it says ultrasound, bone density measurement, and interpretation, peripheral sites, any method.
Okay, would we use a 26 with the interpretation part of that? The modifier?
I don't think so because it says it already, right?
You would not. The
Okay.
insurance does not need to know that an interpretation is involved in that. That modifier is to give the CPT code more information, but all the information we need is in that description, right? Great job, Melissa. Good deal. So does everybody understand why we wouldn't use the modifier on that one? Because it's already, the information is already there. We don't need to give them any additional information. So if the insurance, if you put the 26 on there, they're going to read interpretation twice and they're going to kick it back. They're going to be like, it's not an interpretation. It's only one interpretation, right? Okay, good catch. All right, so let's move to our next one. Radiologic examination, nasal bones, complete minimum of 3 views. So what do you think we would look under in our, what do you think we're going to go to in our index? Where are we going in our index? Miss Elise, where are we going?
Is it radiology?
Radiology. That's right. So we're going to radiology. Okay, so where is our nose found? I know that there's a nose on in there, nose to abdomen for foreign body, but that's not what we're looking for. When you, if you started reading your chapter, you know that the radiology section is broken down by body area, right? By the anatomy. So your nose is part of your head and neck. So if we go radiology, head and neck,
It gives
you a range of codes. So when you get that range of codes, you've got to go and double check or decide which exact code we're going to be using. So it gives us 70010 through 70559. So then we're just going to, when we get to the tabular, we're going to need to read down in our codes and descriptions. And we're going to need to find the one that has nasal bones.
70160.
Yeah,
Who agrees?
I agree.
I agree.
I agree too. Very nice. All right. Chest x-ray, 2 views, frontal and lateral. So in our index, what are we going to?
X-ray.
X-rays, yep. Okay, so I'm gonna, it's chest, x-ray of the chest.
It gives you 71045 to 71048.
Okay, now we just have to decide which code. So you guys get everybody time to figure out. Let's hang on, give everybody a moment to decide the code, and then we'll come together with an answer. Now, be sure that you take into account how many views. Okay. Miss Roblin, do you have an answer for us?
Yes, ma'am. 71046.
Are you sure?
Yes.
That's what I wanted to hear, because we have 2 views, right? Because we had a
Yes,
choice to do
ma'am.
1 view, 2 views, or 3 views. That's why I said, watch your views. Great job, Miss Roblin. That was what we're talking about with the confidence, right?
Mhm.
All right. Tangela, are you okay? Do you have any questions?
Why doesn't it say X-ray? I'm just curious. Because it just says radiological examination. That's why I'm
Well, in our scenario, it says X-ray. When we
Yeah.
look it up in the index, it says X-ray.
Yeah.
But when we look at our code, it says radiologic exam.
Okay.
I didn't write the book.
I know.
But
I just thought I'd ask.
yeah. It's some things are not going to match up, but an X-ray is a radiologic exam. So, I mean, I guess it's stretching that terminology a little bit further.
I'm gonna just put a little X-ray note on the side of that one.
There you go. Tangela, how are you doing? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just following. What index is this, a book I don't have?
Yeah, you don't have your manuals yet. We're
Okay.
actually, and I'm just going to show you, this is what your CPT is going to look like. And
Okay.
we're going to the index, which is back here. And I know it seems foreign, but Melanie, can you share with her? Melanie just got her manuals, but she gets in class with us and she watches and she kind of follows along as best she can. Melanie, did that help you when you got your book to kind of be more comfortable with what you were doing? You have mute on.
It does help a little bit, it does.
Yeah,
Wait.
it's not. Go
Look,
ahead.
I made a little note, little square note. I don't know if you can see it, but I put it in black. I said chest X-ray, and I circled
Chest
all of them.
There you go. There you go. You can write in your manuals, tab in your manuals, highlight in your manuals, because they are your manuals. All right, Tangela, like we were just talking about with Melanie, I know it seems a little foreign right now because you don't really have any frame of reference, but if you'll just hang in there with us when you get those manuals, you're really going to understand more of what we're doing. So I'm just going to encourage you to stick with us and say thank you for coming and joining us, even though you don't have your manuals.
Right. How do I get the manuals?
They're sending them in the mail.
Okay, good.
They're coming. It just takes a minute. Okay, so our next scenario says a cardiac magnetic resonance imaging for morphology and function without contrast. That is a mouthful, isn't it? So do we know what magnetic resonance imaging is? It's an
Says
MRI. Yeah, we recognize MRI, don't we? So we're going to go to magnetic resonance imaging in our index. Okay, so magnetic resonance imaging, and then in parentheses it says MRI, right?
And this is going to be for heart.
Yes, because it's cardiac, correct?
Yes. So it's code 75557 through 75565.
That's right. So you're going to decide within that code range what the answer would be. Okay, does somebody have an answer? Miss Kelly, what do you have?
75557.
Do we agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so our next scenario says parathyroid imaging. So since our section is broken down into anatomic site, we can actually look up parathyroid. So it's going to be listed under parathyroid gland.
It says image planner.
Right. It's under
Imaging.
nuclear medicine. And the
Mhm.
only thing that we see with imaging is imaging planner, PLANAR. And it gives us code range 78070 through 78072. So now we would go back to the tabular. And we need to decide which code. Melanie, I'm going to give you this one again. Any guesses, Mel?
Still looking
Is that-
it up.
Huh?
I'm still looking it up.
Oh,
But
okay.
I've got the range by looking in the index,
Okay.
and I'm in the 780, 70. area under,
Mhm.
and I am looking for parathyroid lantern imaging, including subtraction of, I don't, it's just the imaging, but these are giving different kinds of imaging.
So if I go to 78070,
Mhm.
it says parathyroid planar, PLANAR imaging, including subtraction when performed. So let's look at it says parathyroid imaging. Even though 78070 has a few more words in it, that is parathyroid imaging.
Okay,
So the answer is 78070.
okay.
Before I flip the next slide, take a deep breath. And remember, just because there's a lot of words does not make it difficult, okay? You guys know I always build up, build up, build up. You know, I'm gonna give you a couple of big ones just because I want you to be adjusted to looking at full medical records. I don't want you to ever get a medical record and go, because they can be pages and pages and pages long, but you don't need all that information, right? So, all right, so here we go. Whoa, Nellie. So our location is the hospital, right? This is a radiology report. Examination of retroperitoneal sonogram, kidneys. Clinical symptoms were elevated creatinine. Okay, so you can look at all of this. All of this is great information, but what did we actually do?
A retropara, however you pronounce it, sonogram.
We actually did a sonogram, right? So what do you think that we would need to start with in the index? Okay, I'm going to save you a moment. Sonogram, when you go to sonogram in the index, it's going to bring you to ultrasound. So skip sonogram and go to ultrasound. Miss Stephanie, I'm going to give you this one. So here we go.
Okay, I'm looking. Okay, ultrasound, sonogram.
So instead of going to sonogram, we're going to
Okay,
ultrasound.
so then I go to kidney and let's see, 76.
So when you went to kidney, it gave you a range of codes, right?
Yes, ma'am. It's 76770 to 76776.
Okay, now go into your tabular and decide which code goes with this medical record.
Okay, let's see. Ultrasound, no. Let's see, transplant. So with the word, never mind. Because I know sometimes for kidney they use renal.
Right. Well, I'm getting there. Hang on. I already coded them,
I
but
know they
didn't
got
write
kidney
down.
too. Ultrasound.
76770 says ultrasound, peritoneal, renal. Yeah, renal is the kidneys.
So would it be the 76770, or would I just go down and look at, or the other ones say ultrasound transplanted kidneys, so that's not what we're looking at.
Great catch. Your answer is going to be 76770. Even though they said kidney in one description and renal in another,
Mhm.
I know that it's a little confusing that it doesn't list it the same way twice, but that's why we're learning the different things. Great catch, Miss Stephanie, where renal and kidneys are the same. Think about end-stage renal disease. What is that?
Kidney disease.
Yeah,
right?
it's end-stage kidney disease. And you guys haven't been through ICD-10 coding, but I tell you, you're going to know the ICD-10 code for end-stage renal disease. I promise you before that coding is over with, because I use it so much, because it's such a common issue. Great job, Miss Stephanie. I have one more. Again, remember, lots of words, but we only need a little bit of this information. So we're outpatient hospital, x-ray of the left ankle, the Charcot joint is what's fractured. So do we need to, this again is great information if we were having to code for supplies or something, but right now we just need the CPT code. What procedure did we do? We did an x-ray of
Mhm.
the left
Left.
ankle. So where are we gonna go, ladies?
X-ray or
Okay, so all right, nobody call out, just go find the answer and wait patiently. Okay, I'm gonna ask you, I did tell you that there's a lot of words, but keep in mind, this is 3 views. It says it right here.
oh, one says 3 views. Oh, 3 views. Okay.
Okay,
Mhm.
don't say the code out loud. Let's give everybody an opportunity. Okay, Melissa, what you got?
I got 73610, but then I would put the LT for left.
Perfect. I was hoping I was gonna trick y'all. I'm gonna bust y'all's chops if you didn't put
I
that
was-
LT on there.
I was trying to read everything, but with our faces on the right, you can't really read that side of the.
Yeah, and I don't know, I
I
can't.
wish we were on like on top, so we could
Well,
see
even when I
everything.
change my view, it doesn't change your view. You know, like if I
Oh.
spread y'all across the top, it still shows y'all this way.
I wonder if I can change it.
Maybe,
And at
maybe
the
so.
top of- You can,
You can.
yeah.
All right, so not a little bit iffy on some of it, but really, is it all that hard? No, it's not. It takes a little bit of getting used to the terminology and where things are, and understanding that they're not going to give us the same exact wording with everything. You kind of expand. That's where that critical thinking that we always talk about comes in. Just expand your thinking a little bit and think outside the box. It's really funny that we have such tight rules in coding, but we have to think outside the box, right?